party down, location mysterious. Wanna rock this con like my man James Tiberius. Jesse and Marina, they're mad clever like the Negus. Gonna guide you through the scenes, beam from London to Las Vegas. Where to go, how to dress, when to sleep, who to see. Celebs not to miss, Sardis Wong and SMG. Star Trek into awesome, build some memories that last. Set the proper course, the ShoreLeave podcast. Boom.
Welcome to episode 65 of ShoreLeave, your Star Trek Convention Community Podcast. This is an unusual format for our usual listeners, but I think this is pretty exciting. Hi, everyone. I'm Marina Kravchuk, one of your co-hosts. With me is Jesse, my wonderful co-host. How are you, Jesse? You're on the other seaboard at the moment, so
I am on the West Coast,
States today.
And
yes, and I'm on the East.
I'm very scared of being on the West. No, I love it here. This has been fun, and I'm happy I could be here so we could talk about this. So what are we talking about, Marina? Why are we doing a special episode?
Well, there has been several news recently, pretty big ones for those who pay attention to what's happening with currently not exactly existing convention circuit. So we decided, let's do a little break in regular recording. Let's do a live, sort of bring you the news about conventions. So first, we actually have a special guest with us, and it's a returning guest, Ryan T. Husk. How are you, Ryan? We would really like to hear more about the, recently broken news about the big virtual Trek event that's going to be happening next month. So please share anything.
It's all yours, buddy.
How this whole event, how did this come about?
Cool. I kind of feel like we're tricking people, not talking about Star Trek Las Vegas first, but because that's always first and foremost on my mind. So this idea came about, and I can tell you exactly the day that it was. It was May 1st, because I don't know, it was just May 1st. I woke up, and it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, I really like going to Star Trek Las Vegas. I know you guys do too. And I was thinking, like, what are we going to do when it gets postponed inevitably? I mean, whether it's canceled or postponed, we knew that was a very high likelihood of happening. And, I'm going to miss my friends, and it's kind of like a tradition for me. I've gone 12 or 13 years in a row, haven't missed one since I first went. And so I kind of just wanted to figure out a way, well, what if we recreated that to the best of our ability? What if, we had, I'm already doing a show with Sirach Lofton called The Seventh Rule, in which we are reviewing Deep Space Nine episodes and also new Star Trek like Picard and Discovery. And we also interview guests, kind of like what you're doing here. And so I was just like, well, why don't we just kind of do that? Maybe we could do it a little bit more and just kind of lump that in to the middle of summer, kind of as an homage to Star Trek Las Vegas, because I'm going to miss seeing you guys. I'm going to miss seeing my friends. I'm going to miss meeting new people. I'm going to miss seeing the people that I don't even remember that I know until I see them and go, oh shit, hey, And it's like this, it's like I always say it's like a family reunion without the awkwardness, even though there is awkwardness. But so I just wanted to kind of fill that Star Trek Las Vegas sized void in my heart that I'm already feeling that I'm going to have. And I know other people are going to miss it for various reasons, whether it's for cosplays, whether it's for seeing their friends, whether it's for seeing Shatner tell the same story again, or whatever it is, or the vendors that are obviously being hit the hardest. We are sad because we're missing our friends. Vendors are sad because they can't pay rent.
Right.
So that was the genesis, was just kind of saying, well, what can we do to fill that void? And then I started thinking again about the vendors, even more than really anybody. And I was thinking, well, what if we did like a virtual vendors room? Okay, and more on that later. We'll get into the details of that. But then people could sell their wares or promote their their organization. Even if they're not selling something, they can still promote something, because some tables don't sell anything. They're just trying to raise awareness or something like that. So anybody that would have normally been in a vendor's room or gotten a table for any reason is perfect for this, you know. So this way people can put out their message, they can hand out their virtual flyers, they can send people to their website, they can sell their Bajoran earrings and their Vulcan ears and things like that. So those were the first two things. It was really three things. Number one was for the fans to, by the way, hey everybody, it's free.
That's always good.
I guess I
Always
buried
the best part about this whole.
I buried the lead there, which is we're all going through financial troubles, or most people are. It's been really difficult. So what can we provide that's free? I mean, there's no airfare, there's no ticket because it's online. So really we can provide something free. It's a lot harder, obviously, but it's still doable. So the fans can get that Star Trek convention experience as best as you can without being there in person, without worry of health, without worry of financial issues, without worry of travel or whatever. The vendors can hopefully make a few bucks, which will help. It obviously won't fix whatever problems they went through this year, but it'll help a little bit. And the third thing is the guests. I don't even know if they're considered guests if they're not actually here. I just say that they're participating in this, right? They're
Yes.
participants, exactly. And they can promote or share whatever organization or charity that they'd like to promote or share to the masses. And so that's their benefit. Now, which immediately got me to thinking, well, how does that really benefit them that the channel that I have with Sirach Lofton, which was started by Aaron Eisenberg, by the way, this whole thing was his idea in the first place to do this podcast. But we've got, like 6,000 subscribers. They're very loyal. They're wonderful. They're amazing people. But it's 6,000, and sometimes celebrities have 100,000 followers or 1 million followers. So why would they care about that? We've got a total of like 200,000 views. So for that, I enlisted the aid because I'm co-owner of this other channel. So it's pretty easy to enlist the aid if you're also running another channel with my friend Michael Kenyon Rosenberg and business partner. We've had something called Falling Tower for 20 years. This is as of a few days ago, it's like a 20-year anniversary for us. We were originally a band. And that's got 650,000 subscribers on that YouTube channel. So I thought that was something that might be a little bit more of interest to people that would necessarily only do this to promote their charity. If that's their only reason for doing it, is to promote the charity and not at all for the fans or whatever, that's okay. We've now provided the means to cast a wide net and do that. So the more I talked with people and my partners and stuff like Sirach, the more everybody just kept saying, that sounds great, which is, as you guys know, you guys are both two very creative people. That's pretty much the worst thing you want to hear when you have an idea. You want somebody to say, nah, it won't work because A, B, and C, and you go, cool, I can put that idea away and not do it. But the more people say, that's a great idea, you're like, oh, sounds like a lot of work. And then maybe 2 months down the line, somebody will find something that isn't good about it. But so far, it's all been great, and everybody's loved the idea because everybody likes Star Trek, and we all like each other, and we want to help each other. We want to have fun. And a few of the ideas are some of my favorites, like a virtual pool party, which sounds a lot crazier than it is, but it's not going to be that crazy. We're not going to be all like sitting on our computers damp or in our bathtubs or anything like that.
Wait a minute, I'm thinking about that. Okay.
I mean, it's Star Trek Las Vegas.
Well, I am curious. Did you set out to make it? Did you set out to make it that long? I think it was 4 or 5 days long, actually, right? In July 22nd through July 27th.
Right.
So was that something from the beginning, or did you actually expand it because you realized just how many potential participants you're going to have?
From the beginning, we were thinking, make it like Star Trek Las Vegas. Make it 5 days or 6 days. This one's going to be a total of 6 days. But like Star Trek Las Vegas, and again, we're not you know, we're not modeling it after that. That's just the convention I go to. That's the one I love. That's the one I want to pay homage to. That's the one I want to honor. Those are the people I really like. So that's been an inspiration, you know, and usually the Wednesday is kind of a smaller day, but it's included in that. And the Monday afterward isn't really part of the convention. It's just everybody having their after parties or the pool party or whatever, you know. So that's what this is. It's basically going to be Wednesday through Monday, with Monday being kind of like the farewell day and Wednesday being like the opening ceremonies kind of day, and then 4 days of convention stuff.
Well, it sounds exciting. We're happy you're happy you told us in enough time, you know, so that we could join, and we'll help get the word out. And I'm excited. Well, you're the reason we're trying to do this live thing, because I thought, well, we got to start practicing. So that's
It's
what
fun.
we're doing now.
It's easy, right? You got the hang of it pretty quickly.
Oh, so far. So
We're trying.
I will tell you, Vegas isn't the same unless you're with some of the same people. So I was really bummed that I wasn't going to see my roommate this year in Vegas. I was crying. Then all of a sudden, come on.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Ryan. How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, I've been self-isolating here in California for 2 or 3 months, and I was desperately missing STLV this year. And when I heard that Jesse was coming out here for work, yeah, I was like offered him a place to stay, and I walk around, and to be fair, I have my plastic shield. Gotta stay.
I've hardly seen him.
For anyone who's listening, yeah, it's been great. It's been great having him. So,
What's your name?
Jay.
Oh,
Jay,
yeah,
nice to see
that's
you.
Jay.
Nice
Jay
to meet
Gamble.
you.
Yeah.
So, Jay, tell Ryan a little bit about yourself. You two share some.
Oh yeah. So I know that you're in the entertainment industry. I am as well. I've been out of work for about 3 months. I'm normally like a TV editor, and it's been tough. But I've actually had an opportunity to do a little bit of remote work, which has been great. And but I'm looking forward to getting things back to normal, or whatever the new normal is. I know there's been a lot of movement forward and trying to figure out how to get back into production and post-production.
Right.
So I'm hoping that will start back in the next month or so.
Well, they said they're going to start reopening the possibility of production on June 12th, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
haven't even looked at that, because I'm sure that it's a list that's like 30 pages long. And that just, to me, I feel like, as the little man, like the independent things and whatever, I feel like that might be just too much for it. It might be way too expensive and too difficult to pull off. I feel like Paramount or Universal or NBC will be like, cool, we can afford that, and then they'll hire people to sift through everything and make it happen. Whatever, that's great. They're creating jobs. I'm happy for them. But for me, and maybe for you, we might say, oh, let's wait it out a little while longer,
Well, you're the third person I've heard mention 30 pages of something.
So that's what it was. I looked at it, and it was about 30 pages.
Wow.
And it was, it all made sense. It was all very reasonable. But again, I was like, I have some friends that have a small production company in LA, and I wonder how that's going to affect them during all of this. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things go.
So we
Meanwhile,
purposely
we have the virtual events. So thank goodness for that. Obviously, it doesn't help people who actually are in the arts and the production and all the physical stuff, but for fans, at the very least, thank you very much, Ryan. On my own bottom of my own heart, because when I heard that, I'm like, great. Actually, it's getting really substantial events now, because to my knowledge, this is the largest Trek event so far that we're going to have. So I'm
when
really
it happens, it will be.
Well,
But yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, as bad as it's been, you got to look at the bright side. So Marina and I have some pretty cool guests here recently, and we've got like a schedule now, because I guess no one else has anything else to do. So they visit us. So, it is what it is.
It's a little bit sad at the same time, because we do a lot of we do a lot of reminiscing at
Yeah.
the same time and kind of trying to guess what's going to happen. And realistically, it's like, it's all a hypothesis.
Yeah.
I mean, STLV is a hypothesis. It's 50-50. It might not happen.
Yeah. So I will tell you, everybody who knows this podcast knows that I am not the detail keeper, but one of the reasons we want to get together is because I think they announced the Las Vegas postponement maybe late last week, right? And like since then, and Lord forgive me for using a term, but there's been a lot of fake news, kids. And so Marina's got it all under control. So we just wanted to kind of put all the stuff out there that we know and squelch the rumors. And then Ryan, happy that you got in touch with us when you did, because we were planning this. And then, you know, we're not going to be on here very much longer. We just wanted to like people to see us and us to see our friends and give them the information we know. Since this is the Star Trek Convention Community Podcast, we should probably talk about Star Trek Las Vegas. So,
right,
Marina, I'm going to turn it over to you. You've got your notes.
That's really, yeah. First of all, I have to say that I personally was expecting to hear the news of cancellation sometime before the end of June. I was just kind of like kept going about all the information that we have, what limited stuff that we know is going on with, you know, fighting of the COVID pandemic. And I was like, well, you know, things are the way they are. So when the news hit that it's going to be postponed, I was almost pleasantly surprised, even though we're still very much, you know, first of all, we have very preliminary info, and it's still, I mean, yes, it's 6 months away, but anything can happen before December, second, third wave, or perhaps it will go away and flatten. Who's to say? At this point, there's very basic information available. So those folks who do keep track, I'm sure I'm not going to be saying anything you haven't heard already. So the STLV has been moved to December. Specifically, its dates are December 9th through December 13th. So it's still a 5-day convention, as always. The new location, it's no longer in Rio. It's going to be held at Caesars Forum Conference Center. And that is something that I wanted to do like a little side note, because I have noticed a lot of confusion online, because people assume the moment they heard the word Caesars and Forum, the assumption was it's happening in Caesars Palace. And
that's
it's
first
not.
thing
Caesars
I did
Palace
too,
is a hotel. It's the cross. Yes, it's across the strip. Yes. And it's not in the Forum shops either, because those are shops. So you have that on one side of the strip, and then on the other side you have Harrah's. I mean, they all belong to the same. It all belongs to Caesars Entertainment, the giant company. So if you can visualize the map, there's Caesars on one side and Forum shops on one side. You cross the strip, there's Harrah's. You go through it and through the parking lot, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't been to the monorail side of that particular hotel in a while, but you hit the monorail station, and that's sort of like how the Sky Bridge goes, and you walk into the new Caesars Forum Conference Center. It's a brand new facility, state of the art. I am pretty sure that they're not even officially open, or if they are, it must have happened. Well, let's be blunt, everything is closed at the moment, regardless whether it's open or not. As a matter of fact, we have some reports from the local fans, and huge thanks particularly to Sarah Evans.
We have
Sarah
reporters now.
Evans, because she did a small video, and the most that she managed to do is actually get on the roof of that particular parking garage and kind of just show around, so people can imagine this is the location of Harrah's, this is the neighboring hotel Link, this is the parking lot, and, you know, looking to the high roller, and here as you can actually see the building, brand new building of the convention center.
Marina,
so
quick question.
It's very exciting.
Quick question,
Yeah.
Since I kind of checked out all the news like on Friday and Saturday, but haven't touched it since then. When I was looking through it, it looked like there was a sky bridge connecting the Link to the Caesars Forum, right? But I did not see that there was a sky bridge connecting Harrah's as well.
As far as I understand, and it's actually, you know something, I wonder if I can actually share a screen and show, because I found a map and it's a little bit tricky. I'm trying to figure out if it's some sort of a combined sky bridge, because on this document it actually says sky bridge to Harrah's, Link, and monorail.
Yeah, they've
so it's
done
sort of this
some,
one structure that they connected.
They've done some
Let me
construction
see
over
if I can actually share. If I can share. Oh, unfortunately, I cannot share it. My apologies. So basically, from what I understand, Link and Harrah's is actually equidistant to the new conference center. So it kind of makes sense that both of them are directly connected. If you go to the website of Caesars Forum Conference Center, they actually claim that Flamingo is also directly accessed from the center. How, I don't know. Is there another sky bridge, or it's part of like an entire, I don't know, system
Yeah,
of
because
sky
my
bridges?
concern is that you would have to go from Harrah's over to the link and into the skybridge, because the skybridge can, you know, technically would connect them all to that area. But if you have to go to the link to take the skybridge over, maybe just stay at the link.
So
right?
this is what we'll do, you guys, because watch this, because I come with joy and happiness all the time.
Nice.
I've got a 5-hour layover in Las Vegas tomorrow. And I will be putting on my Blue Man mask. And I'm going to walk around because I know there's been some construction. So one of the good things is we haven't seen, I'm not trying to be bad, but the Rio has looked the same for a while. And we've heard that the Harrah's has had kind of a facelift, right? So I think there's been some construction over there. Whether it continued or not, we'll see. But I do plan to take a walk at least, or a ride over there, and just to see how everything is. Got more choices of hotels. You've got the same tier and other tiers of hotels out there. So looking forward to it. I mean, I think I'm going to miss the camaraderie of, like, you know, Jay always used to get me back to my room after the masquerade. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but we'll see.
Well, first of all, we have to find an appropriate substitute for that, but I am sure eventually things will work out. I mean, I remember when things moved to Rio, and a lot of people were not happy about it because things suddenly had to be very different from the way they were in Hilton. So I'm sure we'll find our way. Meanwhile, I find it pretty exciting because it's almost like an adventure. If it happens, it's going to be my 11th STLV. So it's kind of interesting to see how things would work with brand new venue. You know, how's the seating going to work? How are you going to?
I can guarantee you still have a 30-minute walk to the convention.
Like it's going to be long. Yeah.
Think about it. There's a walk everywhere, regardless where you're going. So it's exciting, but you know what? If you do have an opportunity, from what I understood from Sarah's video, you probably will not be able to access anything from the inside because things are still closed. But maybe from the outside, you'll be able to see the sky bridge, so you can actually see where the connections are or something like that. I'm assuming that there shouldn't be, you know, construction fencing or anything of that nature. Again, you're going to be the person on the ground. You can relay the details to us.
Well, while it's not Star Trek related, I do know someone who happens to have a Darth Vader outfit that I'll just have to put on and force them all out of my way so I can see everything that's going on.
Remember to breathe heavily.
They didn't say what kind of mask, but Marina, we just wanted to share that with people. Wanted to let Brian have a chat, and I felt like I was here visiting Jay when this all came together, and thank God for Jay to getting some of this stuff together, because this was totally going to be a disaster without his help. So Jay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And
so
go ahead, Marina.
Yeah, I was going to say, at this point, I mean, besides what I already said, that we can only really discuss things in hypotheticals, the only things that we do know is the date, the location, the host hotel, which they did pick Harrah's. So if you go to the Creations website for Star Trek Las Vegas, that's going to be the official hotel with a link to book the rooms. To my knowledge, quite a few people rebooked, and unfortunately, a lot of people found themselves in a situation where the dates no longer work for various reasons, a lot of them professionally, actually, like such as teachers, for instance. So it's going to be a curious year. Like I said, if the convention happens, there's going to be a whole lot of, I don't know, I suppose logistical issues to work through, first of all, because it's a brand new venue. And then, of course, to deal with the disappointments for those who, unfortunately, you know, they're going to find themselves losing their ticket. I'm specifically talking to those who have progressed to one of the roads somewhere in the Gulch, which, as we always takes years usually.
It would be really cool.
I'm very sorry for that.
It would be really cool, Marina, if we went in December, because like when this all started, we were just getting off of the Star Trek cruise, so we were in the middle of, I think they're gonna die, and none of us died.
Yes. It was a miracle, as a matter of fact, that no one did.
Yeah. And this trip took me through the worst states that have responded. I won't say which one, so I won't get in trouble with anybody. But I have seen anything from like full body gear to like nothing and no concerns, and it's very odd the way everybody's reacting. But I'm happy that we're taking I'm happy that we're not going in August. I think that is way too soon for us. So.
I doubt that it's going to be permanently moved to December. It is a rather odd date, and I have to say that summer does fit with the whole idea of STLV better than probably any other season.
Well, December's
so
my
we shall
birthday
see
month,
whether
so that's why.
same thing for me as well. Again, I checked with a couple of my friends who are local to either Las Vegas or just generally Nevada, and I kind of got very mixed reports, saying from basically, it's going to be really cold, to saying, well, comparatively pleasant, and then the temperature does dip once the sun goes down. So I'm sure, again, if convention happens, we will experience that directly. Meanwhile, the only other information I have is that, Google Maps are unfortunately out of date, so you can only find like renderings and just general computer generated visuals of what the center looks like for those who are interested.
I'm sneaking in now.
One of my friends, the shout out to Bill Smith, he mentioned that those who are thinking that they're more or less, however firm you are in the category of I'm going to STLV this year, you might want to look into booking a hotel sooner than later, because apparently there is going to be a Wrangler National Finals rodeo in first half of December. So that means that another very much larger crowd than us is going to show up and probably
rodeo people.
Yep.
Well, we do have the World Series of
I have to say,
what is it we have?
Personally,
Poker.
I'm still
Poker,
treating this first rodeo.
Yeah, we have the
That's
World
right.
Series of Poker before us, right?
So regardless,
right before.
it's 50-50.
And then we have the accountants right after
I
us.
believe so.
So this will be interesting.
But it's going to be interesting to see.
So as I started saying, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's going to be interesting to see what new news there is in December, and it's actually just prolonging the convention circuit in a way, and having the virtual con that you're doing, Ryan. The summer is really cool. So I'm curious what they would have in store for, say, Picard season 2 or Discovery, or even Section 31 or any of the other new series, which is going to be really cool. So there could be a good side of that.
We got to look at the positive, as I believe. It's not all bad, right? So we'll see our family again.
No,
that's
not
exactly
at all.
what we wanted.
That's exactly it. And like I said, I do feel terrible for those people who likely might or will lose their tickets. I do, same like you said, I do try to look at the positives, because I personally actually rather like this particular location. You have some amazing restaurants and quite a few local Las Vegas attractions literally right there. You don't even have to, take a taxi or monorail. Well, actually, you can take monorail, because now we do have that flexibility of moving along the strip without taxis or without walking. So let's see what's going to happen. I started saying earlier, I still consider this situation 50-50. It might happen, it might not happen. I am hopeful. And I switched my all my logistics, the flight and the hotel, and just sitting back and observing, basically.
I'm kind of on the other side of that, where I don't even like Las Vegas, to be perfectly honest. I don't like it. I think it's gross. I think it's obnoxious. It's smelly. People are weird there. The lights are bright. It's smoky. I'm like a total curmudgeon about it. I'm just everybody shut up and stop talking so close to me. And the gamblers are like zombies. They just kind of walk around. They don't really have to watch where they're going, So I hate Las Vegas. I live in LA. It's only 4 hours away, but I go once a year for this convention, and I absolutely love it more than anything, because I'm not really in Las Vegas. I'm just in a hotel, and I don't leave. I don't go outside. It's 300 degrees outside. Yeah. I don't go outside. I don't. And I'm the guy that, if somebody says, hey, come to my party thing or whatever, cool, where is it? And they go, oh, it's just down the street bye. No chance.
No down the street.
No chance.
Ryan, looking at it this way, I actually rather agree, because I did some exploration first couple of years that I went to STLV, because I wanted to check out, when they used to have the lions at MGM, and I did look at the flamingos and the tigers that they have at the Treasure Island and all that other stuff. And I was actually not the Treasure Island. That's the other hotel. Sorry. So anyway, all the shows, you know, Cirque du Soleil and everything. And then after that, I haven't been on the street probably for 8 years straight.
Yeah.
So
Right.
realistically, I wasn't really in Las Vegas either. I was just there because I wanted to hang out with my Star Trek
And
friends.
that's really what I like best about Star Trek Las Vegas, is having it to where we basically take over a hotel. We're all there. We're all upstairs, or we're at the bar, or we're at the convention. We're all there. You forgot something, just run up to your room and get it. You know, oh, somebody's waiting for you somewhere, just go run over and get it. But now, if it's going to be across the street and you're going to be like texting your friend, where are you? They're going to say the hotel. And you're going to be like, which hotel? I don't even know where I am anymore. I'm just outside and it's cold and I'm carrying my cosplay gear. So that, you know, and we're all going to be so dispersed. Like we're not going to be just amongst ourselves and amongst each other nearly as much. So those are the negative aspects I see. The positive aspects, Marina, and you and Jesse, you guys seem like you're much more about the positive aspects. The positive aspect is it's something new. And with something new, you're going to find things that you like that you didn't expect, that you're going to say, wow, this is so much better. Like I'm a total vegetarian hippie, and eating at the Rio, there was really nothing for me. There's very, very little to eat there unless I wanted to go to Fat Burger every day or whatever it was. And so I'm sure there will be much more eating options for me there, you know, so there will be some silver linings, I'm sure.
Well, I'll take that little tour and we'll show you.
I have to admit, I mean, my favorite Italian place is literally across the street now, the Trevi inside the Forum Shops, because I have to walk out of Harris, cross the street, and 5 minutes and I'm there. So I'm super thrilled. My sister and I would normally take taxis to avoid the waiting for the shuttle forever, and because that's what once I kind of got over that thing that we're not really going anywhere after the convention day is over, we started to actually go out for a nice dinner on the strip, because as you said, Rio had very limited, offerings in terms of food. So yeah, I still think that yes, there's going to be this whole lot of third of people are staying in Flamingo and the other half is staying in the Link, and what do we do? But some sort of middle ground is going to be found. People will be like, okay, everybody, let's do this thing, and it will become the new norm and the new tradition. Right. But obviously, it's going to take some time.
Yeah. Well, you guys know I am the time checker, so I promised some people that we would get off here soon enough, just so everybody can enjoy their evening. But Ryan, thanks so much for last minute just popping in there. We really appreciate you, and we're looking forward to partnering with you with whatever we can help with.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to your group being a part of this as well, because that's kind of the heart and soul. You know, there are a couple places that are kind of the heart and soul of Star Trek Las Vegas for various reasons, and that's certainly the one or one of the main ones. So the people that make Star Trek Las Vegas what it is are generally in that group, I'd say. Yeah.
And then thanks, Jay, for helping me get all this set up and for letting me come within 6 feet of you, but not far, not closer. It's only been 6 feet.
Absolutely. It's good to see another human.
And Marina, as always, I love my podcast co-host, and we were like little schoolgirls thinking about how this thing was going to go. So when we see we got 2 views, we will know it won't be that bad. But
well, it's high time, I think, that we try to move into a different format, because just recording a podcast is exciting enough, but this was kind of like, well, we do have finally big news about our favorite convention, so let's do it this way.
Right,
and so thank you, Ryan. I am really looking forward to the virtual event, first of all, so this is going to be an exciting one, and thank you for the kind words.
Thank you. That reminds me, I forgot
Jay,
to
thank
say,
you very much as well. Actually,
I forgot to say that it's called Virtual TrekCon, by the way, everybody.
Virtual Trek.
Go to virtualtrekcon.com or Virtual TrekCon on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just kidding. I don't know anything about TikTok. Well, everybody else does, but I don't.
Marina has posted it everywhere as our social media director, so awesome. you're covered from our end.
Nice. Yes, I try. Well, it is something that's, every single time something pops up that's related to Star Trek virtually, I'm like, this is great, because at this point, so many people who have never been to conventions, don't want to try conventions for whatever reason, they're actually getting just a little bit, at least, of the experience of what it's like when you actually can listen to a guest or a participant, and just generally share in the Star Trek fandom.
All right, guys. So I'm sorry. Go ahead,
just
Ryan.
real quick, I do want to give one quick shout out here. The team for go ahead. The team for Virtual Trek Con. You know, we've got Sirach Lofton, we have Melissa Longo, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg's my business partner with Falling Tower, and so he'll be helping to manage that other channel. By the way, the Falling Tower channel will be called the Renee Aubergenois stage.
Oh, that'll be nice.
And the Seventh Rule channel will be called the Aaron Eisenberg Captain Nog stage, kind of like at Star Trek Las Vegas. They honor those guys. So we're really happy about that. So, but the big shout out is to my friend, Mr. Scott Baker, because he has been really helping a ton with this. He's designed the website. Every time I say, can you like add this color to this corner and do, and he comes out with something amazing. I'm like, oh, thank God you can translate gibberish into art, man. So big shout out to Scott Baker for doing that, making the graphics, doing the website stuff.
Well, that's wonderful. A very last reminder before we all sign off. Again, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Speaking of virtual conventions, there's going to be literally this coming weekend, and hopefully we can get well, we're doing this live so everybody can hear about it right now. Wonderful. I'm about to say this, we're recording this. Sorry, force of habit. Is something called Connected Community Con. This is a virtual convention that is being put on by Science Division, the makers of this wonderful interactive tribbles. And make sure to check it out. It's going to be held from 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time until 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There's panels, there's virtual tables, which is really literally ranging from cosplayers to artists to podcasts. And obviously it's all going to be one way or another related, not only to pop culture in general, but Star Trek especially. Make sure to check it out. Let me get you the address. It's sciencediv.com/pages/connected. And should be fun. ShoreLeave is taking part of this. So if anything, at least you'll see some familiar faces, me, myself, and Jesse. But it really should be a fun one because quite a few, if you go to STLV, you will see familiar folks showing up during that particular convention. So
guys, well, thank you so much. I'm gonna
hope to see you there. I guess that's really it, and our time's up.
That's it. All right, I'm gonna close this down. Live long and prosper, everybody.
All right. Yes, keep track,
guys.
Bye.
Still says live on Facebook.
Okay, we're done.
Oh, there we go.
You know what?
All right.
Listen.
You know, Jesse, I have to apologize very quickly. When you launched the PowerPoint, Ryan and I actually couldn't hear if the music started or not. So we kept talking, and I'm afraid that there's probably going to be music playing, and people can hear us talking. And I'm very sorry about that. We did mess it up a little bit.
I'm only moderately sorry.
Yeah. Well, Marina, I'm going to tell you this as a friend, and I love you, but we're going to get you in Morristown, New Jersey, better internet or a better computer.
Was it really bad? Because on my side, it would freeze up and then it would release almost immediately. So I don't know how bad it was. It's, the router is all the way down in the basement, and I can't get closer to it.
I don't like watching myself or anything, but you totally need to watch yourself because you had some face moves that were awesome. Like,
you know what? I figured, I talk the way I talk, and people have to,
no, it's not. It was just like it froze just at the right time, and I'm like, what is she doing? Right,
but just generally speaking, does it free? I can't quite always catch when it's doing it.
Yeah, you won't notice it until after it's done. So it's I'm gonna look up some stuff before this weekend to see if I can help you out. But just listen to your messenger.
Yeah, no, but just generally, like when we were recording, did I freeze up a lot?
No, it wasn't that. When you did, it was just very. You could tell, but it's not like the whole thing is about you.
Yeah. No. It's just one of those things where I know it freezes up. As a matter of fact, I think I've been on the Zooms where literally the Zoom just does not want, especially if it's like this with the video, it just does not want to process it. And I asked my dad, I'm like, is our router very old? Is that could that Because I said, no, it just could be natural variations, how the connection goes, and there's not much you can do. But we actually have our routers brand new. It's from last year.
Yeah, you might just
So-
need an extender if you're upstairs and it's downstairs.
Yeah.
I'll chat with you. All right, guys, we're gonna take off.
Yeah,
Ryan?
I'd like to talk with you guys sometime soon, maybe tomorrow or the day after or something, just on how we can involve your group in this, because it would be great to have things like, virtual after parties or things like that I was thinking would be fun. Think of it like as the masquerade bar, for example.
Yeah.
Convention's over. And
Happy hour. Everybody's sitting with something nice and liquid.
Well, Ryan, I would have made plans to try to visit you, but I barely got into this house, so I'm not gonna try anywhere else.
Well, if nothing else, I'll see you in December, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, keeping fingers crossed. Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Talk to you soon. Thank you.